Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, my beautiful people. The people of the diaspora. This is St. Vincent and the Grenadines' favorite and most hated son, the diaspora machismo. I am coming to you again this morning with a word from the Most High. Today we are going to look into the topic, a very interesting topic. Who are the prophets of Lucifer? Who are the prophets of Lucifer? People, the Caucasians are fighting tooth and nail to ensure that you remain ignorant. They are fighting tooth and nail to ensure that you remain ignorant. Because in your ignorance, you would not know how to operate in your sphere. In your ignorance comes disobedience to the Most High. And in disobedience to the Most High, you get cursing. And when the Most High people are cursed, the Caucasians benefits. So people, let us go into the word of the Most High and hear what the Most High have for us through me today. Right? I will tell you this, people. There is a reason why the Caucasians disabled my main YouTube channel. There is a reason why they disabled my main Facebook page. Because on those pages, on that YouTube channel and the Facebook page, there are a mountain of videos that shows you things that you would have took for granted because it came from me. But it has so much information in those videos. And I'm not speaking about social issue videos or political videos, spiritual videos and videos about the environment that I did and placed on those two medium, and the Caucasians disabled those sites. Now they are protecting me by disabling those sites, and no one could not even access to see any of the content that I would have put in it that are public. You understand? So they are hiding what they don't want you to know. What I have revealed previously. People, I've invited a few people already. So now, Patricia Young, I've invited a few people to come to view this thing. Today we are going to talk about only the things that concerns the Most High. You understand? But I am happy to have you. So today we're going to talk about only the things that pertain to the Most High. As I told you earlier, the Caucasians are fighting tooth and nail for their rights. It's not their rights, but they claim it as their rights to keep you ignorant. Because when you are ignorant, they operate within your sphere. And they do things that you are unaware of. Things that the Most High have sent me here to learn. Things that I have learned. And the word says that we are to expose the evil when we get to know them. So that is what I am doing. You understand? And they want to keep you ignorant as it relates to the word of the Most High. Because they know if you are ignorant as it relates to the words of the Most High, what happens? Through your ignorance, you become disobedient. When you are disobedient to the Most High, you are cursed. And when you are cursed, the Caucasians benefits from your cursing. That is why the black people all over the world have to depend on the Caucasians for everything. They use your labor and they produce millions of dollars from your labor, and they give you a pennies in return from the millions that they have made from your labor. And that is how they want to keep it. They want to keep you ignorant. So when you are ignorant of what the Most High expects of you, you become disobedient to the Most High. And when you are disobedient to the Most High, then you are cursed. And anytime the Most High people are cursed, the Caucasians prospers and the benefits. So it is in their interest to keep you ignorant. And there is a lot of you who have the ability to be exposed to the truth of the Most High. But you love ignorance. And because you love ignorance, you turn a deaf ears. You refuse to listen when you get an opportunity to hear the word. You understand? Let me tell you something. The Most High is not going to hold you blameless when you forfeit the opportunity to hear his words. You understand? He is going to hold you accountable, because you cannot go and tell him that you did know when you have refused, bluntly refused, through callousness or through laziness, to pay attention and to hear what the Most High had to say. So people know that is basically the introduction. Now let us go into the word. Today's topic: who are the prophets of the devil? Who are the prophets of the devil? And we get our scripture reading comes from Matthew chapter 7 verse 15. And it says, "Be aware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep clothing, but inwardly are ravishing wolf." Or ravening wolf, right? They mean that they are vicious wolves. So that's what the scripture reading says. So before we go in, let us approach it Most High throne. Oh great supreme and sovereign Most High, as I come to you to talk to your people this morning, Father, let me only utter which you have put upon my heart for them to hear. And if I am unclear at any point in time, Most High, let your Holy Spirit bring clarity to each person who find it difficult to understand what I'm saying. In Yahushua's name I say, let your holy will be done, my Father. Now, the topic for today is, who are the prophets of Lucifer? Who are the prophets of the devil? A prophet is one who represents or speaks on behalf of a deity or a god. For example, an ambassador is one who represents or speaks on behalf of a nation in their relationship with other countries. Hello, Mr. John. Kenneth John, how are you? Nice to have you. Right? And a prophet is one who represents and speaks on behalf of a deity or a god to the people or the subjects that worship that god. So the difference between a prophet and an ambassador is, a prophet represents a deity or a god, and he is the middleman between the god and his followers. The ambassador is one who represents a country and is the middleman that negotiates on behalf of their country with other countries. Right? So here we see a prophet is one who represents and speaks on behalf of a deity or a god. So in some cases, the prophet has the following function. The prophet tells God's people what the God expects of them. In our case, it tells us what the Most High, what Yahweh expects of us. What are God's future plan? What is Yahweh's future plan for us and for the world? How the God, or how Yahweh is going to reward or punish his subjects for their obedience or for their disobedience. and to remind the people of events of the past that will motivate them to compliance to the God who the prophet is representing. So there are four basic functions of a prophet. The first one is to tell the people what their God expects of them. The second one is to tell the people of the God's future plans for them and for their world. The third one is to tell the people what are the rewards and the punishments for their obedience and their disobedience to their God. And the fourth one is to remind the people of events of the past to motivate them in compliance and in obedience to the God. And what we should know is that every God was either created by the Most High or was created by man. And for the God who was created by the Most High, which is Lucifer, who rebelled against the Most High and decided he wanted to be a God, he adopted everything that the Most High have put in place in his government to ensure the smooth operation of his government. Right? So his prophets, the prophets of Lucifer, the prophets of the devil, will follow the same pattern as the prophet of the Most High. But the only thing, the prophet of Lucifer works to accomplish the very opposite of which the Most High wants to accomplish. In the scriptures we have noted prophets such as Ezekiel, Jeremiah, Samuel, Jonah, Elijah, Elisha, and the list goes on of the prophets of the Most High. And a very unique thing about these prophets is that the prophets were sent from the Most High to the Most High chosen people who are the Israelites. And in today's era, the Israelites are the children of the transatlantic slave trade. The descendants of the children of the transatlantic slave trade are the Israelites. Right? So today, we represent the Most High on this earth. Right? Another thing you have to know about these prophets, they were all black. All of these prophets, Ezekiel, Jeremiah, Samuel, Jonah, Noah, Elisha, and Elijah, they were all black men. And they were sent to the Israelites, who is a black nation. Right? It is important that we grasp this concept. Right? And they brought to us the instructions, the blessings, the reproof, and the judgment from the Most High. One of the things we know about Satan is that everything that the Most High does, the devil or Satan or Lucifer, whichever you choose to call him, he replicated to accomplish a complete opposite objective. For example, the Most High sent his prophets to teach his children so his children can come and serve him in righteousness. The devil sends his prophet so that he can deceive the Most High's children, so that we refuse and fail to worship the Most High in spirit and in truth, as the Most High requires us to worship him. So what we will see here, everything that the Most High does, everything that the Most High have done, everything that the Most High is doing, and everything that the Most High is going to do, we will find that the devil is going to do it. He's going to do the same thing, but he's going to do it to accomplish the very opposite to that which the Most High set up his institution to accomplish. For example, the Most High has temples in Jerusalem. The devil has temples where his people go and worship him. The Most High set up an institution and he called it a church. The devil set up an institution and he called it a church. We have the Church of Lucifer all over the United States of America. The Most High has congregation in his church. The devil have congregation in his church that worships him. The Most High has priests in his temple. The devil have priests in his temple. Right? The Most High has prophets who he sent to warn his people and to bring prophecies and to remind us of the past. And so the devil also has prophets. Right? Colossians 1 chapter 12 and 13 says, "Give thanks unto the Father, which has made us meet to be partakers of the inheritance of the saints of life, who have delivered us from the power of darkness." We will stop there in this case. Who have delivered us from the power of darkness? Right? A question we need to answer here is, what is the power of darkness? Is it just a power? Or when we speak about darkness in the Bible, what does it mean? The power of darkness. What we have to learn here is that most of the prophets were so disgusted with Lucifer or with the devil that they even refused to mention his name because of what he have done to them, because of what his objectives are in their lives, right? And because of what he have done when he was a part of the heaven realms. They are so disgusted with Lucifer. They refuse to call his name, not even mentioning the name of the deceiver, the devil. So they refer to him as things like the Dark One, the Prince of Darkness, the power of darkness. So when we hear about darkness and the power of darkness, what they are really speaking about is Lucifer, Satan. Right? So what they're saying here in Colossians 1 chapter 1 verse 13, that the Most High have delivered us from the power of Lucifer. Right? From the power of Lucifer. So when we speak about darkness in the Bible, or the power of darkness, they are speaking about the power of Lucifer, because these prophets were so disgusted as they get closer and closer to the Most High. Their disgust and their hate for Lucifer grew to the point where they even refuse to call his name, but refer to him in such context as the power of darkness, as of darkness, and so forth. In Ephesians 5:11, here's what it says. Have nothing to do with the unfaithful work of darkness. In other words, have nothing to do with the unfaithful work of the devil, but rather reprove them. For it is a shame to speak of those things which are done of them in secret. Right? So what they're saying here have nothing to do with the unfruitful or the unfaithful power of darkness of the devil. Right? So it qualifies what I'm saying here. That when the prophets speaks of the devil, they normally refer to him as darkness, as the power of darkness, because they are so disgusted with him. Right? That they refuse to even utter his name. So let us now go on. How are we going to identify the prophets of the devil? Matthew 7:15 says, "Be aware of false prophets who comes to you in sheep clothing, but are ravening wolf. This speaks about people who parade as servants of the Most High, but work in the furtherance of the agenda of their father, the devil. They go around and they pretend to be working on behalf of the Most High, but their objective and their underlying purpose is to further the agenda of their father, Lucifer, their father, the devil. So the Bible is saying, be aware of false prophets who comes to you in sheep clothing. That means they are disguised. But these false prophets, they are not the prophets of Lucifer. They are what you call double agent. That means they work for one agent and they accomplish the goal of another. Like, for example, James Bond was a double agent. No, he was not a double agent. He was an agent. He was an agent of the British government. Snell is a double agent who was working for the United States government, but he was furthering the interests of an external government. You understand? And some people may even say Donald Trump was a double agent. He was working on behalf of the American people, but he was furthering the agenda of the Russian government. But that is up for debates. Now, so those preachers who parade around in sheep clothing but are ravening wolf, they are double agents. But we want to find out who are the real prophets who are out there doing the work of their father, trying to accomplish their father's work, but are not hiding the fact. And very often, they are so bold and plain that we overlook that they are really prophets of Lucifer. Right? The Bible do not identify the prophets of Lucifer. So you may ask, if the Bible do not identify the prophets of Lucifer, how are you going to identify the prophets of Lucifer? You have to remember, like the prophets of the Most High, Elijah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, who have amassed a body of work that speak and teach us of as who the Most High is. What is his expectation of us? How we can serve the Most High in spirit and in truth? We have to come to the realization that the prophets of Lucifer have also amassed a large volume of work. And because they cannot come to you directly and say, Kenneth John, I want you to come and serve Lucifer in his temple with us. They are masters of deceit, meaning they present one thing, but when you accept that one thing, you get the real thing. So they are very deceptive. They are masters of deceit, and their intention is to deceive you into worshiping their God, Lucifer. And when you are deceived and you are in too far and you realize where you are, it is too late for you to come out. Right? So, since the Bible did not identify the prophet of Lucifer, right, we have to find a means by which we can identify the prophets of Lucifer. And the best way is to go to the prophets of Lucifer and hear what those prophets have to say in their writings. You may ask, Alan, do you have access to the writings of the prophet of Lucifer? Of course I do. You also have it. But you see, because they are all about deceiving others. You don't realize that these people who you have access to, these people who you have been given your attention and your ears to, are literally prophets of Lucifer. And I will tell you, it's because of this thing why they took down my YouTube channel and why they have disabled my main Facebook page. Now, let us go to the unholy writing of one of Lucifer's prophets, writings that you will be able to quote verbatim as if you were a disciple of Lucifer. Because before I realized it, I was able to quote these writings verbatim. And you would have thought, if you had this information, that I was one of the prophets of Lucifer, a preacher of Lucifer. Now listen to this. Let us go to the prophet of Lucifer, the double prophets of Lucifer. And they are called Simon and Garfunkel. And let us turn to the body of work, which is called the Song of Silence. The Song of Silence. We all know this song very well, right? The Song of Silence. We are very familiar with this song. Every day for many years, this song will be played on the radio, especially by Nina Maloney, because Nina Maloney had a fascination for the Song of Silence. I don't know if she understands what it means, but it is a song. I did unfriend you, my friend, Evelyn Spence. They closed my old Facebook page, and I'm using another Facebook page. Yeah. So, the Song of Silence, right? Simon and Garfunkel are two of Lucifer's prophets, and in this song, they will be confessing their relationship with Lucifer. They will be giving you a prophecy, which I will explain to you in this song. And we have sang this song for over 50 years plus, and we did not know the meaning of the song because the rhythm, the music is so soothing. The rhythm is so nice. The lyrics are a little complex, but they appeal to us. We have never really took the time to go into the song and evaluate the lyrics. But these are prophets of Lucifer, and from their writings, I am going to explain a prophecy that they predicted in their writings. A prophecy which came to pass. Right? And I'm going to tell you from their writings, the writing of Simon and Garfunkel, to musical icon, how you could know who the prophets of Lucifer are. This is their confession, that they are actually prophets of Lucifer. This is the opening line of the Song of Silence. Hello, darkness, my friend. We have already learned that in scriptures, darkness refers to the devil, right? And for the explanation of that, we use Ephesians 5:11 and 12, and we use Colossians 1:12 and 13, right? So darkness is what the prophets use to refer to Lucifer, because they were so disgusted and they hate him so much that they didn't want to use his name. So when Simon and Garfunkel open up this song that we are so familiar with, hello, darkness, my friend, this is a bold confession that they are friends of Lucifer. This is a bold confession. In the opening line, They tell you what are their relationship with Lucifer is. I come to talk with you again. Because the vision soft creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping. In the vision that was painted on my brain still remain within the Song of Silence. Right? So here, what we are seeing here is that Lucifer delivered a vision to the writer of this song. Right? And they now coming to him for explanation as to what this vision is. Right? So here we see in the first line, they are confessing of their relationship with Lucifer. That Lucifer is their friend. He's not only the friend, he's a friend that they often speak to. And he is a friend that often gives them visions. Right? So that is what we have accomplished from the first verse. And if you go verse 2 and verse 3 and you pay close attention, you may be able to unravel the mysteries that is wrapped up in this song that we have been singing for many, many years. But let us skip verse 2 and verse 3 and let us go down to where the real ingredients of the song is. And you will find that there was some change to what you will find on the internet as it was relates to what the original lyrics were. You see, when I did my first video that explained this song in details and pinpoint all of the hidden secret in this song, right? The lyrics that I had was the original lyrics, but they have changed up the lyrics on the internet. Different artists, when they sing the song, they change the lyrics to match their voices, to match the message that they want to send. So let us go down to Simon and Garfunkel, Songs of Silence, verse 4. It says in verse 4, and the people bowed and prayed to the neon gods they made. Right? And the signs flashes out its warning in the words that it was, and the sign flashes out its warning in the words that it was forming. And the sign says, the names of the prophets are written on the subway walls. Now, some people, when they sang the song, they say the words of the prophets. But the original of the song says the names of the prophets are written on the subway wall. So you would have to wonder. One thing you have to wonder is, what are they speaking about here? But in this song lies a prophecy. The names of the prophets are written on the subway wall. What is that? When I did this video and I explained this whole song and I put it on YouTube, I put it on Facebook, on my main Facebook page, a lot of people were amazed. It got a lot of reaction and people start requesting more of these videos. And that is one of the reasons why they pull along my Facebook page, because I did videos such as explaining the death of Kobe Bryant from an investigator's point of view, from a sacrificial point of view, and so forth. So all of these videos are there. That is why they pull along my main YouTube page. That is why they have disabled my main Facebook page, because these videos were on my main Facebook page, but they were not getting the attention that they deserve. But recently, They start getting more attention, so they pull it down. Now, let me unveil this prophecy. This song was written, the Song of Silence was written in 1966. This was a prophecy that the names of the prophets are written on the subway wall. And what he's speaking about. In 1956, the Hollywood Walk of Fame came into existence. They get the permission to establish the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And in 1957, the first names were placed on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. So here we see, in 1957, they just had a few names on the sidewalk in Hollywood. That is 1957, but this song was written in 1966, right? No. It shows that the people know what they were speaking about. In 1966, the Song of Silence was written. In 1956, the Hollywood Walk of Fame started. In 1985, the Hollywood Walk of Fame is situated in Los Angeles, California, in the county of Los Angeles, in the city of Hollywood, in California. In 1985, the county of Los Angeles did a railroad system, and under the Hollywood Walk of Fame, which is along the Hollywood Boulevard, they put the red line underneath Hollywood Boulevard. So what we see here, when I say the names of the prophets are written on the subway wall, the subway that runs underneath Hollywood Boulevard, where they have the Hollywood Walk of Fame, which starts at Vine and it runs straight all the way down 4 or 5 blocks down to Hollywood and Highland, right? There are walls on the floor, there are walls on both sides of the subway, and there are walls on the top of the subway. So on the wall of the top of the subway, which marks the streets and the sidewalk, is where you find the Hollywood Walk of Fame. The names of the prophets are written on the subway wall. So here we find the names of all of those big movie, television, radio, Broadway, sports stars. These are the actual prophets of Lucifer. These are the main prophets of Lucifer. Before you can get a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, you have to amass not just a body of work, but your body of work have to be so much so that it would have led millions of people into hell. These are the major prophets of Lucifer. They are found, their names are found written on the subway wall, on Hollywood Boulevard, on the top of the subway wall, where millions of people go there every year to see their favorite star. Literally, their favorite star, who have a star on the Walk of Fame. These people are you could go there. Listen to me. At first, they were only whites, because they were only white prophets. Lucifer only had white prophets. the Israelites fight hard to become prophets of Lucifer. They have been responsible for betraying and sending thousands of their brothers and sisters into hell in order to become prophets of Lucifer. They have been engaged in great deception, and they have been deceiving their people to their own detriment. That is why Whoopi Goldberg, Michael Jackson, Prince, and all of these people has stars on the Hollywood Hall of Fame. Remember, people, in the initial stages, it was a fleet of white actors who were responsible for trying to lure us into hell. No more. These people are literally selling their souls. Israelite men and women are literally selling their souls to get a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. They are literally deceiving their own people by the thousands every day so that they can get a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. People, this is no joke. This prophecy was made in 1965, 66 rather. It come to life in 1985 when the Metropolitan Department of California, of Los Angeles, California, put a subway line that runs directly under the Hollywood Walk of Fame, bringing the prophecy and identifying the prophets of Lucifer. People, the Bible says, narrow is the path that leads to the Most High. Few be there that find it. This came from the Most High Sons himself who opened mouth. Narrow is the path that leads to righteousness. Few be those who find it. He also says in that same line, he says, broad is the way that leads to destruction. Many be there that find it. The prophets of Lucifer in every major city of this United States, in order to mock the Son of the Most High, they have a street that is called Broadway in every major city of the United States. Every major city you're going, you find a Broadway. And the Broadway was named in order to mock the Son of the Most High, Yahweh, who we call Jesus. And you know what they do on Broadway? Everything that the prophets of Lucifer are involved in. Everything. Film, plays, songs, dance, drama, art, everything that the prophets of the Most High uses to lure the children of the Most High from him, they do it on Broadway. So they name this street Broadway, and they put all of their theaters on Broadway so that they can practice to lure the Most High children, contrary to the Most High Son's word, to lure them onto Broadway where they can be destroyed. People, this is serious business, you know. That is why they took down my main YouTube channel. That is why they killed my main Facebook page. Because I had all of these videos on it. On Facebook, it didn't get in the attention that they needed. Because you all took my words for granted. On YouTube, the YouTubers were taking me serious and they were making requests. Requests for me to do video about different things, to explain certain things for them. So what the Edomite did? The Edomite pull down my YouTube channel because they didn't want me educating the people who were searching for knowledge and for wisdom as it relates to the Most High. They either might take down my YouTube channel, people. They take it down. They take down my main Facebook page. All of these videos are gone. But guess what? They will be made public. They don't have control over the Most High words, who hear the Most High words, or who are privileged to the Most High words. You understand? The Most High have a way of using people to reach His people. It may not be me, but there are a lot of people I know who have downloaded those videos. They will resurface again. A lot of people I know who have downloaded those videos will resurface again. You understand? I had a video on YouTube that had over 300,000 views. More views. Right? That is 3 times the population of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I had a YouTube video with over 300,000 views. I doubt any of those views were Vincentians. You understand? That is why they pull down my main Facebook page. That is why they get rid of my YouTube channel, because of the content. It was not favorable to Edom. And Edom, who control all of these media, pull them down because they don't want. They want you all to go Broadway. Fight to go Broadway. Sell your soul to get on Broadway. Sell your soul to go in the movies. Let me tell the people, the Most High blessed me with a talent that much people do not have. The talent to write songs. The talent to write scripts and plays and stories. I could write them easy. I met a guy who was very close with Steven Spielberg. When he realized how great a writer I am, he said, Palmer, I know Steven personally. I have a good relationship with him. I worked with him for many years as a photographer. I was on most of his sets doing the photography, still snap, documenting everything that happens. I have the access to have one-on-one with Steven Spielberg. That's what the guy tell me. And he showed me picture with him and Steven together. He showed me his equipments. He said, Palmer, if you write the scripts, I will get them to Steven Spielberg. I will let him read them. And with your talent, we can become rich. I said, listen to me, brother. This is a gift from the Most High. I want to get a part of this thing. You understand? People, my imagination, my experience is so vast that I have a lot of stories that I could tell, and I could embellish on those stories to make it fit Hollywood. But I will not. I don't want to be a part of those things. I could have written songs. I submit a song to a company. I just come up with this idea and I submitted the idea that I came up with, and they were willing to publish it. People, they were willing to publish my song. They had an artist to sing that song. I could have made millions of dollars from that song. A simple song. It just come into my head. I said, let me see what good is this song. And I submitted to this publisher. They were ready to buy the song. People, broad are the way that leads to destruction. Many be those that find it. There are millions of black Americans who have literally sold their soul to perform to and sing for the Edomites. literally sold their soul in their debts. Right? How foolish could you be for you to decide that I want to entertain you so bad that I will risk going to hell so that I can entertain you, so that you can get pleasure? How foolish do you have to be for people to tell you, stay away, we don't want you, we don't want you here? Every year they say that to the black entertainers. When they fail to give them Grammy nomination, they say, oh, we are good enough. When they fail to give them Emmy nominations, and they're fighting for their rights to go to hell. How foolish can these people be? How foolish can they be? Where they go into a room and allow a man to penetrate them so that they can get an opportunity to be in a movie, and some of them don't get paid. So now you become a homosexual because you want to be in a movie hoping to get millions of dollars, and sometimes they end up nothing. Sometimes they film the movie and they never release it. They pay them, but now they cannot see the face of the Most High as Redeemer and King. They will see the face of the Most High as Judge. How many of them, in order to get a record deal, negotiate homosexual activities as part of the deal in order to get a record, in order to please Esau, in order to please the Caucasians? They sold their soul in order to entertain people who don't want to be entertained by them. How stupid can you be? Let me tell you something, right? The Most High knows what he's doing. The Most High knows what he's doing. I could have gone in to Hollywood lifestyle. I could have used my talent, and I could have been a part of the intro in Hollywood. Which rapper you know who can put lyrics together in any fashion than I can? None of them could touch me in writing. All of these rappers, you listen to the foolishness that says they call it rap. These people's vocabulary are so limited, their experience are so small, that all of them speak about the same thing over and over, not in a story. Money, woman, sex. Money, woman, sex. Even a dog understands a female dog. Even a dog understands treats. That's what money is. And even a dog understands sex. If I were to produce a rap record, even without the demonic forces, it will sell and sell greatly. Because I know the ingredients. If I were to write a song, a love song, look, when some of the songs that I came up with, I was just fooling around with it. I was not even paying serious attention to these songs. I could write ballads, I can write reggae, I can write calypso, I can write soca, I can write rap, I can write rock and roll. I've written them before. I've written them before, people. But broad is a way that leads to destruction. Many are there that find it. Let me tell you something. The Caucasian has been warning black people for years. Stay away from us. Stay away from us. Go in your own community. We will stay in our own community. No, we don't want it. We don't want to stay away from you. We want to be with you. We want to be your friend. We don't want you for our friends. Stay away from us. No, please, please. I will die to be a friend. And that is what they're doing. That is what they're doing. They're dying to be the friends of the Caucasians, of the Edomites, who don't need them, who don't want them to be their friends. So ashamed the children of the Most High will reach that stage in their existence where they become so foolish that they choose death, not only physical death, but spiritual death, in order to be the friends of their enemy. How stupid do you have to be? How stupid can you be? You understand? I don't have to have fame. In St. Vincent and the Grenadines, I was a rap artist. Gospel spectacular. I have performed in gospel spectacular in over 4 years straight. It was enough for me. I don't have to be popular and famous. You understand? When the organizers of Gospel Spectacular told me, I want you to rev up your music a little, bring it into a little dance style, don't focus on the message. I said, no, I can't do that. I can't do that. I am all about messaging. It's not about party. It's not about making people feel good. It's about ministry, bringing people to the Most High. And that was the last year of I performing in Gospel Spectacular. All I had to do was rev up my music, put it in a more dance style, and present it, and I would have been their friends. I would have been there still performing. But no, I ain't compromising on the Most High stuff. This talent to write and to create is not my talent. It's something that was given to me by the Most High for me to use on behalf of the Most High. Not to bring praise and honor and glory for myself, but to bring praise and honor and glory to the Most High. People, the names of the prophets are written on the subway wall, tenement hall. Now they say the words of the prophets, change it up, because they want to keep you in darkness. They want to keep you blind. They want to keep you ignorant. Because when you are ignorant of what the Most High says and what the Most High expects, you become disobedient. When you are disobedient, you become cursed. And when you are cursed, the Caucasians benefits. It is in the Caucasians or the Edomites' interest to ensure that the Most High people remain cursed, remain under their thumbs. Because when that happens, they benefit. Oh, great supreme and sovereign Most High Yahweh. As I end this session of speaking to your people, Father, if I was not clear, let your Holy Spirit bring clarity to that which I lend confusion. Father, let this word go far and wide. Let it reach your people where they are. Let them understand. And let them not only understand, but let them change their life and come to understand you. Let them stay away from the prophets of Lucifer. Let them stay away from the prophets of Lucifer in their production and their presentation in all manner. Because the prophets of Lucifer is all about deceiving your people into going away from you. And when it is too late, they will be lost forever in a hellfire. Most High, thank you for this day. In Yahweh's name I say, let it be done.